because when people usually don't understand piercing, like because like Americans, we are doing it more fashion. But the way, see, in India, they will have gods with different heads, right?
Yeah.
But actually, it's all identity. Like you have an identity of being Rick, you also have an identity of being a father, auto mechanic, like so each identity has its own head. Okay, you associate, like when I introduce to you as a doctor, but I'm also a mother, I'm also a teacher, I'm also a farmer, right? Like I have many heads. But so essentially, in olden age, they would transfer knowledge just by visual, right? So visual, they call it vernacular, meaning it doesn't have words,
Right.
but they transmit knowledge by, that's how the animals communicate too. So when you have the first head, which is logic, right? Like it gives you an idea of what the words are, and you say, okay, if I say this, I get this result, right?
Yeah.
When you're a kid, you learn logic. The second level is depth, the width, meaning like visual memory you develop, and then that allows you to, like, okay, this picture, apple, if I show them, they're going to give me apple, right? So that's a
Right.
visual memory. And then third one is understanding, because just because you do this doesn't mean
You
anything to
understand.
you unless you understand. So that's third depth. But when you go to the understanding, the sound is a z axis. So the logic and visual or
Right.
x and y axis. When you go to the depth, you go into the z axis. So when you do the sound, you understand it means something. So it's a z axis, right? Then the fourth level, the fourth head, is actually where you understand time, and the time is based on music. So in music, it's like they'll be playing a drum, they'll be playing something, but the essence of the previous experience creates that sweetness in us.
Mhm.
A certain music is played a certain way, you create that sweetness. When the sweetness kicks in music, it becomes a resonance of sweet memory. When the beats of march, like like Nazis were playing
Mhm.
A sharp, that means you're given an instruction, right? That becomes like a bad memory. So the memories and sweetness is what you want to grow. So you kind of like disengage with bad noise, so you don't even want to hear it. The sweet noise is the fourth level, the time, the essence of time. So the time is not the man's time, it's a project time. Okay, so you're an auto mechanic. Like somebody comes and says, "Oh, my car doesn't drive," and you say, "Okay, I'll fix it." But fixing it is in your time, and you need to first diagnose, and then when it goes back as a drivable car. But what you did in that essence of time is you took care of some problem, right?
Yeah.
So that is the time. That is not the physical time. It's not 2 hours, 3 hours. It's like the whole, like how much energy you put in.
I know what
So
you're saying, like that. How much
and
like
so
all
so so when you do the time, that's the same in body. When you have like body, it's like all potential, okay, hidden, like the music that needs to be made. And when you create a whole, that's creating that time of music. But the piercing you put in inside is to give power to that space. And when you put the thing that is inside is the force behind what you want to take power back. And the middle part is the force. So what is force is life. So you're giving life to that space.
Mhm.
So you're bringing life back. So the time, that's why it says the project time, what you did was you gave it life, right? You gave it life so the car would drive back. So the piercing is the same. So everything in India starts with breathing space. So the space is where you go beyond music, you go beyond life to become that sweet essence of exponential light in you, right? The light body. So they call it Amrita Kala, that is pure nectar space that's filled with light. So when you do the piercing, it allows you to create the music in that part, and you put the piercing in, it gives you force. Force is time,
Mhm.
time and life. So you're putting time and life. So that space you are empowering, so it becomes pure light. So because everything is breathing space, for me, I put it in my nose because my mom always used to wear nose tabs. You putting it in your tongue because we speak our truth. So subconsciously at the level of soul, you want to walk the talk.
Right.
But if you didn't, if you are going to tell a lie, whether it's by acting a certain way or acting like, even though you were saying you want to be clean, but you're showing up, it's going to hurt you more than me. So that's why when I looked at the piercing, it's so interesting because your soul knows the truth. And it's very interesting. The color you chose for your piercing is sunshine, like yellow, right? So you want to be the light. So you just have to figure it out and walk the walk. That's all. It's amazing. The piercing is so small, but that's where the life. You want to give life to your speech, and for some reason you feel you needed extra help, and that's exactly where because outright and like just like the guy who is that guy Thor. He has this. He has this. He has this. Yeah. See, I mean, he gets the lightning, right? That's what you're doing. You're drawing the lightning energy because that's what light is. Light is a force that actually light comes before the sound. I forgot. You see the lightning before the sound?
No, you hear it first.
You hear it first, so the sound comes first. I haven't understood the consequence like of events, but that's exactly it is. Sound is the vibration we produce, and light is the purpose. So if you understand that, you would be released, your spirit would be released. But for some reason, you're going after some wrong mechanism to get to the space. Does it make sense to you?
It does. We'll figure it out.
So even me not correcting you, you have the ability to correct yourself. Are you going to be clean this time?
No, I should definitely be clean.
Okay. I'm proud of you.